Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. Today we are going to design a coffee cup in 3ds Max as you can see on the screen. We will be creating and unwrapping it in 3ds Max, then adding textures in Substance Painter and finally we will render it in Marmoset. I will add timestamps below so you can focus on any specific part you would like to see. Let's get started with today's class. First I will load a reference image and based on that reference I will use the line tool to draw the shape. You can also use any reference you prefer for this. After making necessary adjustments I will draw another line based on the required thickness. Then I will attach these lines together. I will draw another line and attach and then select the vertices and then fuse and weld to close the top part of the shape. After that I will use the lathe command and position the axis where needed. This will generate the shape and then I will convert it to an editable poly. I will optimize the shape a bit. It's important because we will apply the turbo smooth modifier later. So now I will remove some unnecessary edges to ensure better result. After that I will close these holes. Where I feel it's necessary to arrange these edges or loops for better flow and shape, I will use the set flow tool to ensure the loops to maintain the right shape and spacing. Then I will proceed to smooth out the model. I will select these polygons and use the extrude tool to create the bottom part. Then I will add a loop here and I will apply a chamfer to these corners. I will apply turbo smooth to this and we will see we will have a pretty nice shape ready. Now I will trace the shape for the handle using the line tool. First I will center the pivot of the cup and then draw the shape for the handle. Adjusting it accordingly. I will apply the edit poly command and then select the polygons to use the extrude along spline command. I will select the shape of the handle for the spline. First I will collapse them all, then reset the X-form, and then I will convert it to an editable poly, and finally select the polygon to use the extrude along spline command. I will increase the value here to smoothen it out. Then in the taper amount I will decrease the value so that the shape becomes narrower toward the end. If I put a negative value, it will narrow down from the end. You can adjust these values as per your preferences. Then I will press OK and we will have a nicely designed coffee cup. I will select these edge loops and do a slight rotation to ensure their sequence remains correct. If I apply Turbo Smooth, we will get a really nice shape for the cup. But before doing that, I will remove it and start by unwrapping it. I will mark seams where needed. I will try to keep the seams on less visible areas. I will not time lapse this part so that those who are not familiar with unwrapping can watch it comfortably. Those familiar with unwrapping can speed up the video or skip the unwrapping part. And if anyone wants to learn unwrapping in detail, I have started a beginner series on 3ds Max where I cover everything extensively. They can watch that series where I will teach complete unwrapping technique. For the handle, I will add a seam on the back side. After adding seams, I will select different parts separately and proceed the pelting and unwrapping them. After unwrapping all the parts, I will select them and pack them. Then I will collapse here. We have completed the modeling and unwrapping of the cup. Let's move on to designing the plate and unwrapping it. I will unwrap the plate as well. I will select both objects and unwrap them together to pack them into a single UV map. Because I will create a single texture for both objects. Now we will move towards Substance Painter, where we will do texturing. First we will click on New, then we will select our object by clicking on Select. I will keep the document resolution to 2K, but you can choose any resolution you prefer. After setting this, I will click on OK. I am going to bake the maps first. For that, I will go to the texture set settings and click on Bake Mesh Maps. I will select the resolution as 4K. You can choose any resolution you prefer for the texture you need. Then I will click on Bake Selected Texture. Our textures have been baked and you can see that a good occlusion is being displayed. I will apply the marble polished material from the Smart Materials. While I could create custom materials, but for the sake of this beginner friendly tutorial, I will use the existing materials available. You can see the material has been applied. I will make some adjustments to the material by turning off some elements I don't need and lightening the base color to a slightly whiter shade. Feel free to choose any adjustments you prefer. I will duplicate this material and set its base color to complete white. I will apply a black mask and paint only on the plate with white color because I want the plate to be completely white. I will duplicate the material once again and set its base color to black. I will clear the mask and select the cup instead of the plate in the masking. This way the black color will only be applied to the cup. I want only the exterior part to be black, so I will specifically select that area. I will make some adjustments to the color as well. I will slightly darken the color to enhance the effect. I have designed these in Photoshop and created alphas as well. I will import them into Substance Painter. For alphas, I will select the alpha from here and then choose the texture from these options for textures. And I will import for current section and then click import. I will create a paint layer to paint these designs on objects. In the base color I will add the texture, and in the alpha I will use the corresponding texture alpha. I will adjust the brush size and apply these designs onto the plate. I will ensure that the roughness of this paint layer matches the roughness of our base material. I will also add some value to the height to give the designs a bit of depth. It seems to be working fine. But since it's also applied to the cup, I will add a black mask to this layer and remove these designs from the cup. I will add another paint layer to apply designs on the cup. I will follow the same process I used for the plate. Now it's looking pretty good. Now let's export the textures and head over the Marmoset where we can quickly render it. In Marmoset I will start by importing my object. Then in the sky setting I will reduce the backdrop brightness. Moving to materials, I will apply the exported textures, add the base color to the albedo, the normal map to the normal, and continue adding textures to their respective slot in the similar manner across all options. Now in the scene I will add some more lights. To add lights, you can position your camera where you want to add the light and click on light to place it there. I will customize the setting for these lights according to my preferences. Additionally, I will add another light from a different angle. I will adjust some camera settings. You can explore and test out all the settings. In rendering, I will first enable ray tracing. It significantly enhances the rendering quality. I believe I should add another light here as well. Now I will set the camera angle to the view from which we want to render. Once the view is set, we will click on render. For rendering, we will set the image dimensions and the file path where we want to save the render image. After setting these parameters, we will click on the render button. I will render it from another angle also. For a 360-degree rotation, I will apply a turntable to the object. In the rendering setting, I will set the path for rendering a video. Adjust the dimensions and then click on the render video button. This way we can render a 360-degree rotation. I hope you have learned something valuable. from the video. Let's meet in the next class. Take care.